This is the time and place for a city commission meeting on Monday, November 29th, 2021, here in South Dakota. Roll call, please.
Smith.
Here.
Weinreich.
Here.
Bragg.
Here.
Robish.
Present.
Mayor Harrington.
Here. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda approval, I do have one addition to it, 4.5, a wage correction. Are there any other additions to the agenda tonight? Seeing none,
Move to approve the agenda with the addition.
okay, need a second on that?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Weinrich, all right. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Public forum. Public comments may be sent during a live meeting broadcast to the city's YouTube channel. The link is listed on the city's website at www.huronst.com/citygovernment. In order to use the YouTube chat feature, please create an account with your YouTube and Gmail or using your existing accounts. Please state your name and address for the record. Public forum is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person. Our HR director, Nathan Hofer, is on the computer in the back of the room, and if you want to get in on YouTube and ask a question, we would stop the meeting and try to answer the question that you would have. So, is anybody other have any question or anything for public forum? Mark, I know you do. Commissioner Robish?
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to take the name of Carly Keefe off the Huron Community Improvement Committee, and I would like to add Tom Brantner to that committee. Do you need a motion on that, Klein?
We can amend to add that to the agenda under consent if you'd like.
Was it?
We could
Oh, yeah, okay, that's what I
amend
meant.
to add that to the agenda
Okay,
under the consent to
Consent
4.6.
okay.
And
Thank
we
you.
could just do an amendment to that motion to add her.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I gotta get the names. Carly.
Taking off Carly Keefe
Carly Keefe?
and putting on Tom Brantner. I said, but with public forum, I meant consent,
Oh,
Mayor,
no, that's
sorry.
fine.
Tom Brentner?
Yes,
And that's on community improvement, right?
correct.
Okay, so we'd need a motion to amend the
Okay,
motion.
motion to amend the consent agenda.
I would put that in the form of a motion.
Okay.
Second.
And second on that, all those, roll call vote on that.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Okay. All right, see no other public forum, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Matters appearing on the consent agenda expect to be non-controversial, will be acted upon by the commission at one time without discussion unless a member of the commission requests an opportunity to address any given item. Items removed from the consent agenda will be discussed at the beginning of the formal items. 4.1, minutes of November 22nd, 2021, City Commission meeting. 4.2, fuel quotes for city departments. 4.3, special event on sale alcoholic beverage license for top floor events for a chamber mixture on December 14th at American Bank and Trust, 1820 Dakota Avenue South. 4.4, payment of the bills. 4.5, waive correction for Glenda Matrix. Recognize a wage correction for Glenda Matrix from grade 16 step D to grade 16 step E at $24.57 an hour, effective 11/14/2021. 4.6, remove Carly Keefe from the Community Improvement Committee and add Tom Brenner to that committee. I entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
Move to approve consent agenda.
Commissioner Bragg, need a second on that motion.
Second.
Second on Commissioner Weinress. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Okay. Petitions and communications, 6.1, Assistant Engineer Dennis, will you please enlighten us on this topic?
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. We're asking for permission to sign, enter into an agreement with DGR Engineering on the funds for the DANR money that's out there, the ARPA money. They've did this for like 27 communities, so they got a good handle of what needs to be done. And it is a hourly basis, not to exceed $7,000. Asking for your approval.
Okay. Do we have a motion for approval?
Move to approve?
Commissioner Weinress, need a second on that.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Bragg. Any discussion on this topic? Yes, Mr.
Well, I think we discussed that, I mean, this will be money well spent, because there's some significant dollars out there that we could potentially get in on that would be huge. So I think this is a good time. We're kind of a little bit behind. Some other communities have already done this, so these guys that know their stuff, we can get in.
We're behind, but we're not. There's January 1's and the numbers.
Yeah, I apologize. Behind some of the other communities have already done this, so that's where we
Correct,
have the advantage of utilizing somebody that's already got it figured out.
Yep, they got a format for it, so.
Okay. Any other discussion on this item?
Just want a quick note that we'll be paying for that out of general fund reserves.
Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Number 7, ordinance and resolutions. We'll go to our city attorney, Tucker Valesky, for 7.1.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. 7.1, first reading ordinance number 2233-3-92 pertaining to personnel regulations, definitions, and paid leave absence. Consider setting the second reading for December 6th. This adds Juneteenth to our ordinances and the adjustment as to the holidays, hours that go along with it.
Okay. Motion to approve.
Move to approve first reading?
Commissioner Weinrich, move to approve. Need a second on this.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Bragg. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinrich.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. 8.1. I think Chad's up. I think
That's me.
You don't want me to explain
our IT specialist, Chad Morgan, will explain what 8.1 is to us. Thanks, Chad.
Morning, afternoon, evening.
Yes. Good night.
Good night. So what I'm asking for is some additional funds from reserve to upgrade the antivirus solution that we use across the city to a more robust platform that gives us some more features and is a hosted solution rather than it's something that I have to babysit. It is a national product. It's well known in the antivirus community and cybersecurity world. And the organization that is doing the hosting for it is a DHS offshoot. They solely do state, local, tribal, and terrestrial lands for cybersecurity. So they babysit governments, and they do it well. The state uses them. I was actually on their website, and I do see that there are about a dozen cities in South Dakota that use their products, whether it's a hosted solution that you pay for, or they have free tools that help you develop your security postures to make sure that your networks and infrastructures are up to snuff against the latest threats and against best practices by Microsoft and some of the other framework organizations, NIST, SANS, the big names that basically come out with all the policies that say this is the way your network should run, this is where everything should be and how it should work. So, like I said, we get a little bit better product and some oversight on it so that if something were to happen on one of the computers, I get a phone call, doesn't matter if it's 8 in the morning or midnight, hey, there's something wrong, you need to go check this out. And I actually get a team, if it becomes an escalated risk, I get a team of people that will actually help mitigate the risk and get rid of the problems. Find out where it came from, make sure it never happens again. So they're there for us, and a lot of those are the benefits of having the hosted solution. Also, some of them are the free benefits we have for being a member of this organization. And that's a group I stumbled into about a month and a half ago and got signed up for. I actually tried a year ago when doing a DHS grant for the fire chief, but apparently I slipped through the cracks and didn't get approved then, so I thought I'd give it another crack, and we're in the CIS agency, or MSISAC, which is Multi-State Information Sharing. I can't remember the rest. It's an awful long acronym.
Yeah.
Just means that smart guys take care of us.
Okay, motion to approve.
I'd move to approve that.
Commissioner Smith, motion to approve. Need a second on this motion.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Rovers. Any discussion with Chad?
I've got a couple
Yes,
questions.
go ahead,
if I
Commissioner
might.
Smith.
Just for clarification, and Chad, that would cover all of the city functions, police, dispatch.
If my counts are correct, based off what we have now and the couple of computers that we have that really don't get used but really should have protection on them, the counts are about 100 workstations, and that's what those costs reflect on,
No,
is the increase in about 15 extra servers and workstations.
it's well worth it.
It is, and then a lot of the other things that aren't in there, and I think it was in that, my memo, you know, it actually adds to some of the security frameworks, so we get PC inventories. We know exactly what computers are on our networks. I know all the information about them. I get application inventories on each workstation, so we know who's got what installed where and why, and then if it's something that isn't approved or we don't think is necessary, we can ask why it's there. All part of that security. We want to make sure that whatever's on our computers is the latest version if we need it, and that it's patched to the latest security levels so that we know that we don't have any flaws that can be used to get in our networks.
Will they then do kind of help you out with a little bit of a audit, if you would, of?
I can if I want. There's some of the tools that I get that are free that I'm using that actually give me those best practice and audits so that I can make sure that everything is in line where it's supposed to be. Even with the applications, if it's the latest, if it's the right versions, if it's got the right patches to it, if it's everything is the way it is, and if it's not, I can look at the reports and I can go to that computer and I can do what I need to get back up to where it needs to be.
Yeah, proper licensing and all that.
Exactly.
Just a quick note too, Chad, in our discussion of this, we'll probably be coming within the next year with some policies for city computers, users, things like that.
I've noticed, and we've talked about it a few times in the office, we've kind of run, fingers crossed, and hope that our people know the right way to use a computer. Anymore though, it doesn't matter if you know or not. We really need to get some policies in place. Internet usage, email usage, what your workstation, how to use your workstation, what it's for, user training, whether it's, email, what to look for, and spam message, the ones that everyone, I got the message from the mayor that said, yep, it's junk, and here's, and then we can go through that, here's how you know, here's how I can, all of that stuff. So we're trying to get our security posture where it needs to be and above, just because of what's going on in the world. I know we have insurances to help with some of those costs if something does happen, but it doesn't sound like that's always going to be a guaranteed thing. So we've got to make sure that, we have to take care of us before anyone else is going to. And unfortunately, that takes money.
Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Just again, this $3,000 additional comes from general fund reserves for this year. We won't have the expenditure next year to renew what we're doing now, because this is a new for next year.
So it's a one-time fee?
No, but there's an annual fee.
There's an annual fee, and we'll have to adjust it in budget next year too, because of kind of where it falls in the year.
In December.
Yeah.
It's kind of like our email. I can plan it all I want for budget, but if the number changes from Microsoft, it's after budget time when I find out, and it affects that for me too, unfortunately. Those kinds of things. But this price, that $60 a client, is a pretty well locked in rate. That's probably not going to change, at least not in the next few years.
Any other questions for Chad on this topic? Okay, good. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Weinreich.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Thanks, Chad.
Thank you.
8.2, I'll handle this one, Mr. Brad, if you let me, dude.
You bet.
Final
Good news, you want to take it.
Final citywide grass collection on December 1st. Have your cans out the night before. And this happened only because of the weather. The weather stayed, and the leaves haven't been freezing in the cans. If that was, it's been a problem in the past. We don't have that problem this year because it hasn't been freezing. So that's why it's another Wednesday. We'll be able to collect more leaves and grass at that time. So
Yeah, just to clarify, Kate, yeah, this was just Wednesday, regardless of what day your trash gets picked up. There's just one day of pickup on Wednesday, so put them out Tuesday night.
all right, if we have nothing else, all we got tonight. Thank you.